would like to recite can unmute themselves and recite.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Yukta karma phalam tyaktva shantim apnoti naishtikam ayukta kama karena phale sakto nibhadyate. I'll recite one more time and then you can get the meter and then you can recite. Yukta karma phalam tyaktva shantim apnoti naishtikim ayukta kama karena phale sakto nibhadyate. Okay, please go ahead.
युक्तः कर्मफलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्ठिकीम् अयुक्तः कामकारेण फले शक्तो निबध्यते.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu.
युक्ता कर्मफलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्ठिकम् अयुक्तः कामकारेण फले सक्तो निबध्यते.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yukta kam. Oh, go ahead, Ataji.
Brett, go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yukta karma phalam tyaktva santim apnoti naishtikim ayukta kama karina phale sakto nibhadyate.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yukta karma phalam tyaktva shantim apnoti naishtikam ayukta kama karena phale shakto nibhadyate.
Very nice. So, Brett, thank you.
Yukta karma phalam tyaktva shantim apnoti naishtikim ayukta karma karena phale sakto nibhadyate.
Thank you, Bhavya. Very nice. Anybody else? Okay, so we'll go by word. Yuktaha, one who is engaged in devotional service. Karma phalam, the results of all activities. Tyaktva, giving up. Shantim, perfect peace. Apnoti, achieves. Nashtikim, unflinching. Ayukta, one who is not in Krishna consciousness. Kama karena, for enjoying the results of work. Phale, for enjoying the results of work. Phale, in the result. Sakta, attached. Nibhadyate, becomes entangled. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the results of all activities to me. Whereas a person who is not in union with me, with the divine, who is greedy for the results of his labor, becomes entangled. So I will request translation with repetition, please. The steadily devoted soul
The steadily devoted soul
attains unadulterated peace
Attains unadulterated peace
because he offers the result
because he offers
he offers
the
the result
result
of all activities to me.
of
of
all
all
all activities
activities
to
to
me.
me.
Whereas a person who is not
Whereas a
Whereas a
person
person
who
who
is
is
not
not
in union with the divine,
In union
in
with the
union
divine,
with the divine,
who is greedy for the fruits of his labor,
who
who
is
is
who is
greedy for the
greedy
fruits
for the
of his
fruits of his
labor,
labor,
becomes entangled.
becomes
becomes
entangled.
entangled.
Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The difference between a person in Krishna consciousness and a person in bodily consciousness is that the former is attached to Krishna, whereas the latter is attached to the results of his activities. The person who is attached to Krishna and works for him only is certainly a liberated person, and he has no anxiety over the results of his work. In the Bhagavatam, the cause of anxiety over the result of an activity is explained as being once functioning in the conception of duality, that is, without knowledge of the absolute truth. Krishna is the absolute truth, supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. In Krishna consciousness, there is no duality. All that exists is a product of Krishna's energy, and Krishna is all good. Therefore, activities in Krishna consciousness are on the absolute plane. They are transcendental and have no material effect. One is therefore filled with peace in Krishna consciousness, but one who is entangled in profit calculation for sense gratification cannot have that peace. This is the secret of Krishna consciousness. Realization that there is no existence beside Krishna. Besides Krishna is the platform of peace and fearlessness. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gada Mahiyam Tadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namastude. Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Very nice. So the steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the result of all activities to me. Whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled. You see, we read so many things in our day-to-day life. We have to read. We read so many text messages, if not at all. If you're not reading any good book in your life, you're at least reading the text messages, right? Or news, or on internet, emails, something we are reading, because reading is a part of our existence. We don't think we are reading, but we are. But I have never come across in any of the readings that I've done through the course of my life anything that like what Prabhupada writes. Anything. Who writes like this? Steadily devoted soul. We say you have to be devoted, but Prabhupada writes a superlative, steadily devoted. Steadily. There is an adjective there. It's not that today I'm devoted, tomorrow I'm less devoted, day after tomorrow I'm going to take a vacation, then I'll start the cycle again. That Bhoga Tyaga cycle does not happen. Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami Prabhupada starts with this. They say this Bhoga Tyaga principle works only for a materialist. Bhoga Tyaga, you see, Rupa Goswami Prabhupada gives example. Prabhupada comments on that in the beginning. If you read introduction of Nectar of Devotion, it's there. That let's say that there is a big businessman. Okay. That businessman is like steadily devoted. Is it steadily devoted? Let's analyze. You tell me, because this is going to be an interactive session. I am not a Mahabhagavata, I am nothing, but we're just going to talk to each other. Okay. So let's say this businessman is very, very rich and is very devoted to his or her work. Okay. So they work. But there comes a crashing point where they want a break. They want a break. They want to get out from this, work environment, and they want to go for a vacation. So the bhoga is enjoyment, right? Work, and then tyaga. Okay, I need a break. Tyaga, and then come back again. Okay, the vacation over. Now come back, bhoga, and then work, and then take a break, tyaga. So when I entered Krishna consciousness in 2002, so I was like full fledged, because I had a temple. I had full energized devotees. We had set program. We were sent on book distribution in the Gita Govinda bus. We were just thrown out there. We were there. Like we were going on the beaches. I remember I did not speak Kannada, but I had a friend. She spoke Kannada, and we were on Srimad Bhagavatam distribution competition, and she wouldn't even let me wear shoes, because she said we are distributing Bhagavatam. You don't wear shoes when you distribute Bhagavatam. I said, what, you're making me walk on the rocks without shoes? Yes, so she spoke Kannada, I spoke English. I mean, she spoke English too, but I spoke English. And then we were there. And one day I was like, what am I doing? Because one day I was sitting, I remember, what am I doing? What am I doing? I was thinking medical college is going to be so much work. And we all can, we can analyze the Krishna Prabhu and Tunga Vidya's life as well, like this. Because a person who is not in Krishna consciousness cannot understand their level of enthusiasm. They cannot. So I was like, what am I doing? One day I was sitting, I was looking at my friends around me, and they are planning to go on vacation on a weekend, go there. And I'm like, do I really need a break? No, I really don't need a break. So like that, the activities of a Vaishnava, like Dhir Krishna Prabhu, for example. Okay, today is Friday night. Why don't you just take a break? No, this is my break. Or Tunga Vidya. Oh, well, I have to cook very fast. Children, come on, she makes the children sit. And I know her. And she is like, okay, let's talk about Krishna. We don't need a break. We don't. Why? Because I'm not saying we are steadily devoted. At least I am not. But we can at least get a comparison that steadily means what? That we are a Krishna conscious person, or Srila Prabhupada, for example, is not in a Bhoga Tyaga principle. One time, one devotee was giving class. He said Prabhupada went to and around the world around 12 or 13 times, right? Wherever he went, he never told his disciples, "Take me for sightseeing." He never told them. This is very, we have to learn from the life of a great devotee. So he went from London to New York to Australia to Africa to Japan to Hong Kong to Vietnam to Korea to America to, going Hawaii, Hawaii of all the places. And then he never told them that I need a break. Can you take me to a sightseeing? Never, ever, not even one time. Why? What was the principle that was driving this? Because it's devotion to Krishna. Okay, the work is not to be stopped. It's not that we cannot find Prabhupada taking rest. He actually, my Guru Maharaj was giving class day before yesterday morning, and he was talking about Prabhupada's schedule. Okay, so he gave a detailed introspect about Prabhupada's schedule. And we were amazed to see that Prabhupada would sleep from 10 to 10 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. And he would get up to translate books. Then he will take again rest from like 1 or 2 hours before Mangalarti, then get up like that. He was going. But we can't say that he was not peaceful. He was 100% peaceful. You see, if Prabhupada is not peaceful, then we cannot derive peace from reading Prabhupada's books. We cannot give someone else what we don't have. Prabhupada is unadulterated peace. Unadulterated. Now, who talks like this? Your peace is adulterated. Unless WHO, this World Health Organization or United Nations, is a very good, or Red Cross Society, is a very good attempt to bring peace in the society. It's a very good attempt. But this peace is adulterated. How? How is this peace adulterated? It is adulterated because, first of all, United Nations, only the number of flags are increasing. Prabhupada has said that. Number of flags are increasing, but people are not changing in the number of wars are increasing, number of countries that are envious of each other are increasing, but United Nations has more number of flags added every year. How come? The whole aim of making United Nations is to make the whole world a very happy and peaceful place. But how come, despite of making this, people are becoming more and more envious, more and more, more and more? Or Srila Prabhupada, I was listening to him today or yesterday morning. He was analyzing that India, when British was ruling India, there was this concept towards the end of the ruling that when India is divided into Pakistan and Hindustan, then there will be peace. The whole problem with not having peace at the moment is that because there is this mixture of these religions. So Pakistan and Hindustan was made with that idea. Okay, and then what happened? Inside Pakistan, there are so many rights. Inside India, also there are so many rights. Did we become peaceful? Did we become? We have to ask ourselves. And Prabhupada was giving class in Chicago. This is a very famous lecture, July 4, 1975. He was talking about, he had seen a Times magazine cover a day before. That's what it sounds like when I hear Prabhupada's lecture on that day. Prabhupada said the Times magazine cover had this topic: crime, why, and what to do. Okay, this was on July 4th, 1975. There's only one class, you can hear it in Chicago. Crime, why, and what to do. Prabhupada was analyzing that government is spending millions and millions of dollars and resources and training. At least in this country, they do make sincere effort to train people. My Guru Maharaj is in jail preaching, so I know. He talks about it too, that there is an effort from the part of the government to make the prisoners a good citizen when they come out, but it again fails. They want to make the civilization or society peaceful, but they're again failing. What I'm trying to tell you is the second part of the thing, because the person is not in union with Krishna. because the heart is not purified, because with the desire for sense gratification is still there. So many people who come to Krishna, and the first part is Nishkam Karma Yoga. I'm sure you have discussed enough about Nishkam Karma Yoga. This is the last verse in this particular chapter. From verse 1 to verse 12 in this chapter, Krishna talks about Nishkam Karma Yoga. And from 13, it starts the Karma Kand, and then Karma Yoga, and then he builds up to Bhakti. So this is like one of the last verses describing Nishkam Karma Yoga in 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We are not, whatever endeavor we are doing is not giving us peace. We have to come face to face with the reality of our life. It is not. We think I'm going to get educated and that's going to be the end of all my miseries. Does it really happen? We think that I'm going to get a job and that is going to be the end of my miseries. Does it really happen? We think actually it becomes more, and we add more and more. We think that I'm going to have a family and then that's going to be the end of my pain. Does it really happen? We think now I'm at a stage where I think, okay, maybe when I retire, I will have peaceful life. Does it really happen? Nothing, because we are not in Krishna. My heart is not clean. Okay, the problem is in the heart. And so how do we get to this stage? First is I want to explain that Nishkam Karma Yoga, this is the definition. Second, I wanted to make a point that whatever endeavor we are doing on our own accord is not bringing us peace, has not brought us peace, and will never bring us peace. Why? Because it is not in conjunction with Krishna consciousness. Because a person's heart is very, very hard. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada was asked this question. In ISKCON, this is a very famous question. Very famous. So that, let's say, you see, in ISKCON, like we hear about karma, like whatever activity I'm doing, I will become entangled. So the question was put forward to Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, that Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, if I am walking on the road and then there is this beggar and I give this beggar something, so that means I will have to take a birth as a beggar, and this person has to come and then, give me, this karma balance has to be equalized. So better not to give. Better not to give, because no action means no reaction. I hope you have understood that verse also. That was in the beginning. No action, that was verse number 3, if I remember correctly, in 5th chapter. Does it mean that no action means no reaction? Are you understanding? Are you all understanding what I'm saying? What was the question put forward to Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, Prabhupada's guru? That I don't know if am I audible? Am I audible properly?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So if I'll not give to the beggar, I'll not have any action. No action, no reaction. So Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada interestingly said, very interestingly, if I ask this question here, what will be your response? Some of you respond. This is the question.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Inaction within of itself is an action. You're still going to elicit a response from the other party by not acting.
Yes, but at least you don't have to take another birth. At least, I'm just playing as a hedonist. At least, there is this particular assurance to myself that at least I'm not handing it to their hand. So, I'm not really like activity. You see, in Kali Yuga, the activity done in the mind has no reaction. In Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Treta Yuga, one had to incur sinful reaction even by thinking something sinful. It's there. It was there. But in Kali Yuga, we are exempt. We are exempted from that kind of a reaction by thinking about it. Unless until I do it, I don't get it. It's written in, let me think, where is it? Where Brahma explains the origin of mode of ignorance, 5 kinds of ignorance. I think it's 3rd canto. I'll have to look up, but it is written in Srimad Bhagavatam. But that's a good argument, Brett. Anyone else would like to tell me, like, no action, no reaction? So is that a proper understanding?
Yeah, I mean, practically it is not possible for us to do nothing. So even if we are not doing nothing, even doing nothing, still we are doing something. So it's not possible for us to get out of that reaction anyway.
Very nice. So yeah, that is also a very nice counter argument. So Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said that You see, if we don't give charity, if a grihastha specifically, I think it's chapter 17 where 20 qualities are described, right? Is it 17 or 16? It's 16. I'm forgetting. I think it's chapter 16 then, where the activities of a particular varna and ashrama are described. So for a grihastha, charity is inevitable. If a grihastha does not give charity, thinking about action and reaction, then their heart becomes hard. His Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada answer. The heart becomes very, very hard. And it's very difficult for a grihastha like that to understand Krishna Tattva. Krishna is not going to enter somebody's stone-like heart. Okay, so by giving charity, we can do charity by Om Tat Sat, right? We can do charity by understanding the meaning of the Om and Tat and Sat, which is also described in Bhagavad Gita. But we cannot not do. We can give that beggar a food, but we can give it as Krishna Prasadam. We can help. Radha Govind Maharaj, I was listening to one lecture of his. He was saying that one day they were traveling. One of his disciples was driving, and then there was this beggar on the red light in India. I don't remember which place it was. And the beggar was saying that I want to buy a medicine because my child is very sick. So please give me money to buy the medicine. So the disciple was ignoring, and Radha Govind Maharaj was saying, give him the money. Give him the money. He wants to buy. But then the disciple turned to Radha Govind Maharaj and said, well, Maharaj, if I give him the money, you don't know, they are charsiya. In India, we call charsiya, right? Like they were going to spend it to get intoxication. And I will get entangled because I'm giving money. Radha Govind Maharaj said, just give it. Okay, so they gave it, and then they did an experiment. They went behind this beggar. Okay, Radha Govind Maharaj and this disciple are like now spying. What is he going to do? So they went, and he's talking in the lecture. He said that the person went to the chemist shop, bought the medicine. Behind the chemist shop was a hut where he did go and give the medicine to the sick child. So Radha Govind Maharaj re-emphasized the point that it is a very, very menial view. It's a Kanishta view. It's like the lowest level of devotional service where we think about what am I going to get. So anyway, so that is a part of being steadily devoted soul that I wanted to make the point that unless and until we are dovetailing our activities to Krishna, we are going to become entangled even in anything we do. Unless and until, let's say some people are very attached to doing pious activities. Let's say, open an orphanage or open a school or feed the poor. These are all pious activities, right? They're not impious activities, pious activities. But they're also entangling. That activity also does not give unadulterated peace. How do we understand that? How do we understand that? Because a conditioned soul, one sannyasi in Giranagari was visiting from South Africa, he made this point. A conditioned soul has this tendency, before a conditioned soul does anything, the tendency is to see what is it in there for me here. Okay, this is the tendency of a conditioned soul. Like we do that. If I'm going to sign a new job, I want to know what are the benefits I'm going to get. I will give you my talent, but what are you going to give me? Like a conditioned soul enters in this world to enjoy. So we are doing it. Okay, I'm going to go to this particular place. What is it in there for me to take from? So for me, we are very like me-centered life. But how do we understand this? There's a pious activity is also entangling. Opening an orphanage, opening a hospital, opening a school, opening whatever. The food center, free food distribution center is also entangling. How do we understand that? And that activity also does not give us unadulterated peace. How do we understand this? Anyone who has not spoken would like to say? You see, we should never be scared of saying a wrong statement. There's this, I'm sorry to go tangential, but I just want to encourage that. On Saturdays, I have a group where I started this nonviolent communication, this empathic communication course last week. So we were studying that. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing poorly. It's fine. Okay, it's worth doing poorly. So how do we understand that the pious activity is entangling and is not going to give unadulterated peace? Is my question clear, or is it very complicated question?
Yeah, if I can probably rephrase that question. So the question is, if we are doing pious so-called religious activities, good activities, still they are entangling. So how to understand that?
Right? Prabhupada writes here, becomes entangled.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm using the same word. So no response is a response. So how do we understand?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Are
Hare
you
Krishna.
saying so understanding that like a pious activity can become entangling with them in of itself and not bring us peace? Is that what the question is?
Yeah,
If I'm understanding.
so thank you for asking for clarification. There are two parts of the question. One is that we are looking for peace, and number two is I am also looking not to be entangled. Not entangled means I don't want to come back to this material world again. I don't want to be born again. I don't want to grow old again. I don't want to get diseased again. I don't want to die again. So there are two components, that I do an activity with a hope that I will become happy at a place where I am right now, and also my future is that I am not suffering anymore. So how do we understand that so-called pious activities of this world are also not going to fulfill these two things? Did I make sense? Did I clarify?
Yes, Mataji, I'm just thinking.
It is entangling. Why? Because would anybody like to say anything at this point?
Yeah, I think just like Srila Prabhupada explains, doing pious activities, it could be still a gold chain, right? So it will bind us. Although it is gold chain, but it will still bind us. Doesn't matter whether the chain is gold or iron or whatever. So because there is always, the reason it's unadulterated is because there is always a desire to get something out of in return. When we are doing some pious activities, we are looking for the fruit of it as a good life, good job, good family, something good out of it. So that's why I think it is unadulterated.
Very nice. Yes, Prabhu. And we do the past activity without Krishna in it. Don't put Krishna in it. Thank you. You answered it very well. Thank you. So
Hare Krishna
let's say
Mataji. Yeah,
yes, Hare
can I
Krishna.
add something? Yeah. So
Yes.
one more thing we can say, that those activities are temporary, right? We will get the temporary relief. So Prabhupada wants us to be relief, like we have to go back to Godhead, right? It's not like only for this lifetime. He wants us to get freed of this birth and death cycle. So we
Right.
can.
Very nice. So that was, she hit the nail. So yes. So let's say that, let's analyze. So if I do the pious activity, I don't put Krishna here, but I just go and let's say feed the poor. So definitely the result is better than, I'm not going to go to the hellish planet. Okay, so what's going to happen? I'll probably be promoted to the heavenly planets. But the heavenly planets are also very much in the material world. I will have better standard of living. I will have longer duration of life. I will have more things to enjoy my senses with. It's like living in America versus living in an African village. No, it's like that. Like, so the promotion is okay, you come and live in America. But will I be free from this cycle of birth, death, old age, disease, or will I be free from the cycle of adhyatmic misery or adi bhautik misery or adi devik misery? No. Okay, then what about the other person that I just did the activity for? I know I fed the other person, thinking out of the goodness of my heart, let me feed them. Will it satisfy them? Very, very temporarily. So the activity is temporary, the result is temporary, and the performer of the activity is also temporary. They will get their hunger will get satisfied, but temporary. So I did a temporary activity to relieve a temporary misery, and the result is also temporary. So there is this saying, right? In Harvard, they did this analysis in 1960s. I don't remember the name of the psychologist on top of my head, but whenever we do a material activity, what are the stages? Storming, we brainstorm what we're going to do this. Then forming, storming, forming, we form a team about it. And then norming, and then we do activity, we are like normalizing it, norming, and then performing, and then adjourning. There's so much endeavor: storming, forming, norming, performing, and then adjourning. So this is because you have to adjourn. This activity has to finish because it is not in eternal. But Om Tat Sat. What is Om? Om means activity performed for Krishna. What is Tat? What does Tat means? Om means beginning of activity. Tat means the performance of an activity. Sat means the result of the activity. All are eternal. So the beginning, the performer is eternal, the activity is eternal, and the result is eternal. I can do the same activity of feeding a person hungry, but I can do the same activity, but I feed them Krishna Prasadam, eternal benefit. I go to Krishna, that person also gets a chance. Okay, so please understand, the Krishna consciousness does not mean that we eliminate. Krishna consciousness means we do everything we are doing and add Krishna. Add Krishna. And there should not be any hesitation for any one of us to add Krishna in our lives, because Krishna is life. It's like somebody is suffering. Let's say somebody is suffering. Let's say somebody's your friend is walking, and then your friend hits, and you are walking with your friend, let's say, and then there's this, they step on a wood chip, and the wood chip, now their foot is hurting. Oh, my foot is hurting. Oh, my foot is hurting. So you tell that person, why don't you sit down, my friend? I will take this thorn out of your foot. That's okay, I will take this thorn out. And then your friend is saying, no, my foot is hurting, my foot is hurting. But you're saying, okay, it is hurting, but I know the treatment, let me take the thorn out. But the person keeps saying, no. So such people are called as help rejecting complainers. Okay, let's not become help rejecting complainers. We all need help. So how do we not become help rejecting complainers? By first of all acknowledging, I am in problem. I don't want to die. But I have to die. Oh my God, I don't want to die, but I have to. This is my problem. It's not Krishna's problem. Krishna is not dying. So it is a problem. So solution, chant Hare Krishna. No. Prabhupada was in Canada, right? He said, he laughs so much when he talks in this lecture, that one lady, there was a caricature in the newspaper. The devotees made it that one old couple is sitting on a bench in a park. Okay. And then the lady is telling her husband, chant. And the husband is saying, can't. So make a choice whether you want unadulterated peace or whether you want to live a life as a help rejecting complainer. What do you want? So you have a choice. We all have a choice. Plus, we can talk very philosophically that anxiety, this is a very nice definition of anxiety. Anxiety is explained as being once functioning in the conception of duality, that is without the knowledge of absolute truth. Okay, a devotee also has anxiety. It's not that we are free of, not we, but in general, wherever I've lived with devotees, worked with devotees, served with devotees, they have anxiety. There is an anxiety. When we do this Berks Bhakti Yoga, this annual Janmashtami and Radha Ashtami festival, there is so much work. There's so much anxiety. Nobody is sleeping. There is so much anxiety. But that anxiety is called as productive anxiety. Okay, there are two types of anxiety, productive and non-productive. Productive anxiety is something which brings one near to Krishna, and we welcome that. Yes, give me. And the other type of anxiety is non-productive. It keeps one stuck. Why is it non-productive? No matter what we do, I can improve my position from a Z class jail to a A class jail by working so hard, or and earning so much money, earning so much fame. I'm still in the jail though, because I still have to. I'm still compromised. My existence is still compromised by the laws of Krishna, of me leaving the material body or getting disease, getting old. but it's still non-productive. Why? Because it's not, I'm stuck. I'm still stuck. So much anxiety. Prabhupada said this taxation of the brain. We are, materialistic person is taxing so much on the brain, so much is taxing that how do this business thing go on? How will this go on? How will that go on? So, so much taxation is put that taxing thing of the brain or the tendency of the brain for Krishna's service. Do everything but for Krishna, so you enjoy because Krishna enjoys your service, and that is another unadulterated piece. And that's how devotees go on. If you tell, let's say this couple, Dear Krishna Prabhu and Tunga Vidya Mataji, tell them, okay, just for like, we can do this experiment right away because I have 2 videos to show. So I'll please forgive me, both of you. But if I ask both of you, give up Krishna consciousness, so much anxiety. You have 2 beautiful children. You are like educated, you are well to do. Why don't you go on like, Switzerland and just go on a holiday? Don't, and then eat in a restaurant, check out, give up. What will be your answer? So much anxiety, right? Every week program is not easy. It's not easy. If we have to do once a week program every week without fail, every week, every single week, there is a lot of effort involved. We don't acknowledge it because we are not doing it. But for people who are doing it, there is an effort involved. But if you tell them don't do it, they won't be able to stop. I'm 100% sure they won't be able to stop. Why? Because they want this anxiety to serve Krishna. Let me do my best. So each one of us have this relation with Krishna where we can do our best. And 4 regulatory principles. For a non-devotee, the 4 regulatory principles are very, very hard to follow. No intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating, no illicit relationships. It's very hard to follow. But Prabhupada calls in 2.64, I think I had this verse open. Today in my detailed class, I was discussing this verse with them, that 4 regulatory principles. Prabhupada says here, but a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulatory principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. Prabhupada is calling these regulatory principles as regulatory principles of freedom. Okay, so let's say somebody is very addicted to drinking wine and they want to become Krishna conscious. Now you tell them that, why don't you taste some juices? Like we have so many nice juices, so many nice smoothies, so much nice soup, dal, bhat, and so many things that they tasted, and slowly your taste will go away. They said, oh, I'll have to give up wine. Oh, that's kind of entangling. You are making me give up. That's like you're chaining me into something which I don't know. So for their vision, it is like you are entangling them. But from Prabhupada's vision, if we give up, then we get free from entanglement. We can go on. I just want to show 2 videos. First video is a person who wants to be happy, very happy. And it's not a person, it's a rat actually, but wants to be very happy in this world. And then the second video is more empowering. So I'll not break the surprise. Let's watch this and then we can take some questions. I don't know if I've shown this video. Please tell me if I've shown this video last time. Oh, no. This is not the one. Sorry. Slide 93. Sorry, I'm not tech savvy. So that is a life without Krishna. So hard, right? So hard. I'm going to show you another helpless situation where one becomes. Have you seen this? The Krishna Prabhu Tungavidya, this birth again, death again. Have you seen this? It's a very powerful video. It's
No, no.
done by.
No,
No?
we haven't seen
Okay,
it.
so you're going to have an experience of your life. Okay, whatever you're doing, just leave it. It's made by Bhaktivedanta Institute and a research center in UK. So it's from 3rd canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 31. Okay, have fun.
And when the body is no more usable, then the body is finished, and the soul again enters another body. This is called transmigration. What is the next body you are going to get? You must have information.
can, thank you for watching, everyone. We can see the difference that one person is trying to outsource the happiness in the world, and another living entity who is in the most abominable condition possible and says, I don't want to be released from here. I don't want to go from here. That is the effect of Krishna consciousness. Okay, Krishna consciousness is not a thing of this world. Very, very fortunate person gets a chance to take to Krishna consciousness and chant Hare Krishna. Very, very fortunate. So why to reject that fortune when it is right there? So if you want to get unadulteratedly peaceful, then please chant Hare Krishna. There's no other way. Don't try to find shortcuts. Okay, thank you very much for watching, everyone. If there's any questions, we can have those. Anyone has any questions?
Thank you so much, Mataji. It was very, very, very nice class. Very practical points. So devotees, please feel free to ask any questions you may have, anything you want to discuss, any doubts. It was a very, very nice verse, and Mataji really brought up very nice points. I made some notes so to remind myself, and those videos are very nice. They just hit the point right in your heart.
I can share all those with you. Do you want me to send you?
Yeah, if you can just post it on the group, if it is not large enough, or maybe YouTube.
Oh, it is a large file.
Okay. Is it on YouTube or?
Prabhu, so Birth Again, Death Again is downloaded. We downloaded. Others I have it in the PPT, so I don't know how to share the PPT videos. So
Okay,
either I can share with you the whole presentation.
Yeah, I will
so
talk
you will have.
I
can share the whole presentation.
Yeah, I think I saw the second one, but it's worth seeing it again and again. How to remind ourselves we don't want to go back in that situation again.
Yes.
So
Third canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 31st chapter. Kapila Dev Muni is describing his mother Devahuti, movement of living entities. The movement of the living entities. That's based on that chapter.
Right.
Okay.
Any questions anyone has? Any comments? Anything you want to add?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I just want, in the case of Jadabharat Maharaj, when he was doing the penance, he saved the deer from the hunter. Because of that, he got attachment to that deer, and because of that, he has to come back in another life and do the penance. That's how he got he got into spiritual. Like in that case, what could have been his option? Like, should he, because of saving the deer, he got attached to that deer, and whatever the penance he was doing until that point, I mean, because of that attachment, he has to come back. He has to take another life. So what could have his option in that case, which would have saved that attachment from,
Prabhu, do you want to take this question or you want me to do it? Prabhu,
please go ahead.
Thank you for your question, Prabhu. Ram, Prabhu. Prabhu, there are 9 stages of bhakti, right? There are 9 stages of bhakti. Bhakti is a science. Do you know the stages, Prabhu? Ram, Babu, Prabhu, if I may ask you?
Not sure, Mataji. Maybe you can give me some.
So before we answer and take up this question, we have to understand the stage that Bharat Maharaj was at. Okay, that is why I'm asking this question. There are 9 stages. First stage is Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. Somebody comes to Krishna consciousness with a little bit of a faith. Then what do? They come, let's say somebody enters the temple with Shraddha. Then what do? They get Sadhu Sangha. Association of the devotees is the second stage. When somebody is associating with the devotees, then what are they doing? They're not going to ask about the price of a stock market, right? What's the price? What are they going to ask about? Bhajan Kriya, pastimes of Krishna, chanting and hearing. That goes on. So Shraddha, faith, association of devotees, Sadhu Sangha. Third is Bhajan Kriya. Then what happens when somebody is doing Bhajan Kriya, somebody is hearing and chanting about Krishna? What happens? Anartha Nivritti. One becomes very purified in the heart because Krishna consciousness is Cheto Darpana Marjanam, cleaning the mirror of the heart. Clean it. Cleans the heart. Then Anartha Nivritti, then what happens? The Shraddha that they came with now becomes Nishtha. They had faith. Now it becomes firm faith. I don't want to do it. Generally, at that stage, initiation happens. Generally, okay, nishtha, and then what happens? Ruchi. One derives taste in chanting Hare Krishna, in reading Srimad Bhagavatam, in talking about Krishna, hearing about Krishna. There is a taste. It's not a work anymore. It's not like a weekend program or a program for one particular festival. It's a day-to-day activity because they have a taste now. So ruchi. Then asakti, attachment. Okay, that's stage number 7. Stage number 8 is bhava bhakti. Stage number 9 is prema bhakti. So bhava bhakti is the stage where almost one is at the stage of loving Krishna very, very purely. Almost. Bharat Maharaj was at the bhava bhakti platform. That is why Vyasdev has taken example of Bharat Maharaj. Vyasdev is not going to waste his time in taking example of any mundane person, okay, with sensual attachments to anything. We have to understand the position of Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj was on the bhava bhakti platform, so it's almost at the stage of loving Krishna with pure love. Okay, so so this is an example. Bharat Maharaj's life is an example for us to be vigilant that even at that stage, if somebody has a little bit of an attachment, one can actually waste their time. He never fell down, actually. If he never fell down, what is a fall down? Fall down means, what is a fall down? If I ask you this question, what is the definition of a fall down in spiritual life? Anyone?
Fall
What is
down, fall down in the case of Vishwamitra Muni when he was doing the penance, Menaka came and he left his penance and went with her. That's what.
So right, so or Ajabila, right? So in other words, if I may reframe that forgetfulness of Krishna is fall down.
Yes.
Correct. So he never fell down because he always remembered. It was his what was the most prominent remembrance. So when he became a deer in the next life, he remembered Krishna. He never fell down from his position from Bhava Bhakti. Never fell down. Right? Krishna declares, Kanteya prati janihi name bhaktya pranashayati. That declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Declare it boldly. So Krishna gives protection. He never fell down because he never forgot Krishna. Even in the body of a deer, he was keeping association with the devotees. He was eating dry leaves. He was hearing Krishna's pastime. Then he came back as Jada Bharata, where he actually got more exalted and got to the platform of Prema Bhakti. He never fell down because he always remembered Krishna. So Krishna uses his pure devotees as examples to teach us what to do and what not to do. In Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna is bewildering Arjuna. Arjuna never forgot Krishna's position as Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Krishna bewildered him so that he can talk. Krishna wanted to talk. Now, he is not going to talk to any Tom, Dick, or Harry. He has to talk to his devotee who is non-envious. So he bewilders, Vashikriyate, puts Arjuna into a hypnotism, bewilderness. It appears he's bewildered, but so that he can talk. Like that, Krishna wants to teach us the example. Prabhupada gives one example, if I want to make my point more reinforcing. A good mother-in-law, Prabhupada teaches, she wants to teach her daughter-in-law how to cook. Okay, a good mother-in-law, she wants to teach that how to cook, but she can't really tell that your cooking is not good, so come, I'll teach you. It's not work. It doesn't. So what does she do? She takes her own daughter and daughter-in-law to the kitchen, and she pretends that she's teaching cooking to her own daughter. So she says, okay, put this masala after putting water, or do this. So she's talking loud enough so the daughter-in-law also hears, but actually she's pretending to teach the daughter. Like that, Krishna wants to teach us, but he's using the devotee to teach us. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Did I answer your question, or I bewildered you?
Yes, Mother. Exactly.
Very nice question, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Anyone else has any question or any comments?
Hare Krishna, Prema Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All grace to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept mine. All goes to Prabhupada.
I had a question throughout your class, but towards the end you answered it, so thank you so much. But could you speak more on how we create productive anxiety to get closer to Krishna? I've spoken with a Mataji of mine before about I feel like I feel like I definitely have time in the day to devote more to my sadhana. And I feel, very comfortable in my sadhana, things like that. But, there are days where things, catch me by surprise. Like I might sleep in and then I miss the opportunity to do certain things. And I'm not necessarily hard on myself, but, as I said, you answered my question by bringing up that point of productive anxiety, because that is something I feel like I deal with. And could you speak more on that, Mataji? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Well, Hare Krishna, thank you for the question, and I must applaud your honesty. All of us have that. Okay, it's not just you. All of us have that. Doesn't matter how many years we are chanting. All of us catch ourselves. Oh, I could have been chanting Hare Krishna right now. Oh, what am I doing? We all of us. So yes. But we have to have practical. First is that I'm very glad to hear that you don't self-flagellate. That's very nice, because self-flagellation or self-demeaning does not lead to anyone, or guilt will also make us stuck. Okay, you have an option. We have an option that we can say, oh, I'm such a bad person, I did this mistake. But that's self-flagellation. On the contrary, self-compassion breeds compassion for others. So we say, okay, I am this. Okay, there you go, I'm catching myself in this. So you got what you are right now, or what I am right now. But then you have to have a vision that what you want to be. What do you want to be? We have to have those goals, and that is, I am this, but I would rather be this. So how do I get to this point, from this point where I am not hesitant to not chant Hare Krishna? I am so bold to say that I can save myself because I'm living. See, I'm so healthy. I'm so breathing so nicely. I'm eating. I'm comfortably situated. Even though there are people dying of coronavirus, I'm fine. Right? So that person is like, say, I'm very compassionate to myself, but they're not really compassionate. Anyway, I don't want to lose the focus, but we have to have a vision what you want to be. If you don't want to be this, then what do you want to be? And then starts your journey of self-discovery. Then you want to be this, then what? We have to figure out what works for us. For me, what works is association of the devotees. I cannot see myself practicing Krishna consciousness alone. I cannot. And association of devotees can be with anyone, junior devotee, same level, or senior devotee, anyone. So you have to have a very strict schedule. When we associate with devotees, we can understand, we can understand that how important Krishna consciousness is, because the world around us is telling us that Krishna consciousness is the last thing you need. But when we keep association with the devotees, we understand that that's not true. That's coming from my mind. That's not true. It may not be important for that particular person, but for me, it is important. It is my life. See what I was. Srila Prabhupada said, right? Person who comes to Krishna consciousness with utmost sincerity in the heart can see what they were before they came, and they can see what they are right now. So we can see that what I was and what I am now by chanting Hare Krishna. So why not have compassion on that particular progress that we make on ourselves, and then work on it? Like you have to have very strict schedule. Very strict schedule for oneself. One should be very strict on oneself and very, very compassionate to others. So we cannot compromise chanting Hare Krishna. When you're chanting Hare Krishna, my Guru Maharaj was saying the other day, and I was very inspired by it. He said, I am unreachable to the entire universe when I'm chanting japa. If you call me, he was saying, Maharaj was saying, if you call me, I will not pick up. If you will text me, you will not get the answer. If I am in a room where the building is catching fire, if someone does not tell me, I would not bother. Oh, that's his standard. Okay, I will run out. But that's my Guru Maharaj standard. So you have to become unavailable to the rest of the world and become available to yourself at a particular time of the day. We need it. It's a need. It's not even a want. It's a need of the soul, because that's your time to be connected to yourself. Some people do that by watching games or watching shows or watching movies or doing something, but they really don't connect them. They actually commit more violence to themselves, but they do it. Materialistic do it. But a Krishna conscious person knows that I want my time where I just want to be with my chanting mag, and the magic starts from there. Okay, once we chant our rounds very attentively, then we are ready to fight any battle in the day, any battle, right? This is the realization of everyone who's chanting at least 16 rounds a day, that once we chant, we feel protected. That's what keeps us going. Otherwise, how can you chant every day, every day, every day, every day? How can you chant? There's something happening. That's one way. And the other way is that you got to have a circle of devotees around you where you can reach out with your questions, where you don't feel judged, where you don't feel like, oh, I'm going to express my vulnerability and my vulnerability will now be exposed and be in the Google tomorrow. You need to have those set of devotees where you feel protected. It's a need. Again, I'm talking about the needs. Okay. And the third thing is that write down every day, write that what is it that you liked about the day today, and what is it that you would like to improvise. I don't want to say it, but I'll say it. I'm transcribing my Guru Maharaj's diary. He gave me the service because he has a very italic type of a handwriting, so he told me transcribe my diaries. So as I'm transcribing, he's so nice. Like, imagine somebody gives their diary to somebody that transcribe my diary. So the diary, I mean, the way he's writing is like, whoa, I never wrote the things that like not more than 5 lines he's writing in a day. Not more than 5 lines. But the content is so grateful. There's so much gratitude in every word that they write. So much gratitude to the service. So much gratitude to Prabhupada. So much gratitude to his own parents. One time I was saying, I'm so thankful to you, mom and dad, for assisting me in perfecting my life. So much gratitude. So write down. Writing down it's important for all of us. There's no exception. We need to write down. It's a need. And I think, what other thing? Anything else you would like to add? Anyone else would like to add how we can assist each other in each other's Krishna consciousness? Come to this program every week. This is your self-care time. Okay,
Yeah,
coming to this program is a self-care time.
like you said, it's just not about a weekly thing. It has to be like we should maintain and develop relationships where we can interact with each other, discuss these topics very freely. And I think association is very, very important. Having the right association that can jumpstart our spiritual life many, many fold. Without association, we are in just illusion. I mean, that's Mayavad. Sorry.
Right. Very nice. You know what? Brett, one thing comes to my mind: preach.
Yeah.
Just don't hesitate. Just preach. In Boston, we were in Boston 3 years ago. We were living there. In April, there is a festival near the water in Back Bay. And we would put up a tent for book distribution. My children were very small, so I used to take my children for book distribution there. Isha was, I think, 4 years old. She had just started speaking like completely clear words. So I remember, like, I was doing book distribution. Now she wants to, I don't know, she wants to fit in or what I don't know. It's a very cute little girl with with summery clothes. And then she takes this book, Civilization and Transience, and says to a person, read, give me $1, read. That's all she says. And a person takes it. See, a 4-year-old girl is a preacher. You are definitely better. So preach. Because if we don't preach, then we don't actually enhance our own knowledge, and our knowledge becomes old and stale, and it loses the taste. Krishna consciousness becomes a very big burden on the shoulder. But when we talk about it, when we talk to others, then we are actually hearing ourselves. That was my realization. When I give this class every morning, there are about over 200, 300 people are there. I don't know anyone, but the cameras are off, so it's a very weird environment to be. I'm sitting where I'm sitting right now, and today was 270 some people, and the cameras are off, and I'm talking. So one time I was like, whom am I talking to? Because there's really no one. Then I was like, okay, let me talk to myself. So when I talk, I learned this. I'm still learning, but my realization was, when you're talking, then at least you will hear your own self. One time I was so desperate for some service that I came across Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's quote that you preach. If no one is hearing, 4 walls will hear in a room. So I was so desperate for doing this. that I actually started giving class in my own room, on my own house, to like, okay, 4 walls will hear. I don't care. I'm just going to do it. So you have to do this endeavor, preach, talk. Okay.
Yeah, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Yare dekha tare dekha Krishna Updesh. So whomever you meet, whenever you meet, you talk about Krishna only. And for that, we have to listen at the same time. So the more we listen, more we can preach effectively. So this
Right.
Shravanam and Kirtanam both are important. Thank you so much, Mataji, for bringing up
Yeah,
that.
he's a very important point. Is hear Prabhupada every day. See, my spiritual master gave order, like, you have to hear Prabhupada every day. Not even a day of your life should go between sunrise and sunset that you have not heard Prabhupada. That day is a very big waste. You have not heard Prabhupada's voice today? Oh. So, okay, so we have to live like that. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so
Thank you.
productive anxiety. When I think of Prabhupada, I just think of how self up. And I think as I continue to just keep that mindset of fixing myself up, I'll find, even that fleeting productive anxiety will, gradually go away as time goes on. And it will just be, that mindset of, well, just fix yourself up and keep that a positive outlook. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful.
You're in the right association.
Wonderful.
Okay, we are over time. I'm sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine. If there's any question and Mataji has time, we can still, because I think that is more important to have this kind of discussion is more effective. Anyone has any more questions or comments?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna Mataji, beautiful class.
Tunga
Each and every point was so important, and how beautifully you explained everything. So I have no words to say, and the videos you presented in between, it's like an added thing. And it's always a pleasure to hear from you. Like, you always talk as whatever she's saying, she's doing. Whenever we talk, she talks about Krishna, what services she can do, how she can do. So I'm really, really thankful to you for taking out time. And the video was a big eye opener for the kids. Like, both of my kids were asking, did you eat this thing when I was in the stomach? Did you eat this thing?
I'm getting questions on the chat. What does it mean? What does it mean?
So, like, oh my gosh, yeah. And both the videos were like so much good. Like, it was so interactive. Thank you so much, Prema Kishori Mataji. I know you are so busy taking out time and presenting it so wonderfully.
It's my need too to come back to home. This is like coming back home. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you, Vidya.
Sure.
So for the opportunity.
About the first video, I would like to share this quote. Coincidentally, it came out yesterday only, just like you were mentioning after the first video. Everything in this material world is designed in such a way that it can give us flickering happiness. And that flickering happiness is also achieved only after hard labor, and it leaves behind tons of distress. So it's just, the first video was perfect.
Very
example.
nice.
Yes.
Jai. So nice. Thank you so much for accepting. And I'm sorry if I did any mistake. And if there's any follow-up question, you can always message me. You all have my phone number. I'm in that Berks Bhakti Yoga group too. And I'm sorry I'm not regular, but I do have Friday night class, which I postponed to tomorrow to come here. But I hope at some point in my life I become very regular, but I am there. Okay.
No, we all know we are always, supporting us. You're always there. And I know how many services you are doing, so please don't apologize. That service to Shri Guru and Gauranga are more important. And personally, I really like many points. One of them was the anxiety you mentioned. It's a beautiful point, the positive anxiety. I heard from many devotees, including my Guru Maharaj, that if you don't have anxiety for Krishna, then you are not serving properly. So sometimes when we get into this mode, I'm in the spiritual path, I should have no anxiety. I'm, in the Lala land, but that's not. That's these yogas, and meditation. These studios, they teach us Just get free, do nothing. But the real path of Krishna consciousness is do service, take more anxiety for Krishna and devotees. And that's a positive anxiety. So I really loved that point, the way you expressed. Thank you.
Productive anxiety, productive. Thank you, Rup. I like that point too when I heard productive and non-productive.
Yes. Thank you again, Mataji. I'm not sure if
Thank you.
anyone else has any question. Okay. So let me share. So if no questions, we can move to the next part of the program. Like we discussed, after the 2 sessions of our sessions that we had the last 2 Fridays about our acharyas, the Guru Parampara, that we are going to have presentations going forward on every Friday. Each one of us will be presenting on one acharya, maybe for 15 minutes. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about it for a few minutes. So let me share my other screen. So this is the email I sent. So I hope everyone has seen this email. So there is a linked on in that email. And then we are preparing this kind of, let me increase the font, schedule alphabetically for all the devotees. So please take a look at the schedule, and I will put, you can pick the acharyas from the other tab on the topic, or you can let me know if you need an advice on that. So we are going to, there will be more acharyas in that list. And also there are going to be more devotees as we build a schedule in the alphabetic order. And if you're not available on particular Friday, we can work around that. But my request is that I cannot order, but my request is that everyone should participate and speak about particular acharya for at least 15 minutes, sorry. And then there is a link also in the email that will give you a good resource for all the acharyas. And you can just select the name of the acharya, and there is going to be a lot of information on that acharya, you can see here. So, and you can always reach out to us if you need any help, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty easy. And any questions on that schedule going forward? Anyone has? And I'm thinking to start this presentation at 7:45 p.m. on Friday till 8 p.m. And then we can have our regular Bhagavad Gita class. Okay, if no questions, that I think and I hope everyone agrees with the plan. Otherwise, offline also we can talk, we can discuss, but please let me know about your questions and doubts. And if you're not able to make it on a particular Friday, then please let me know. We can work around the schedule. And quickly, we have a last session of Discover Yourself. This is the program organized by ISKCON of Harrisburg tomorrow on 13th. And then Sunday, this Sunday will be another online program. Her Grace Ram Bhoru Devi Dasi Mataji will be there. She is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and she will be giving a talk on this Sunday. I will share the link. And Prema Kishori Mataji, I'm not sure if Anirudh or Isha are available, if they can sing.
They are upstairs doing something.
No problem.
I have a question, Prabhu, if I may ask. Rambhuru Mataji is going to give class on what topic?
I can check for you. I don't know the topic, but I can check with and post it on the group personally to you. Yeah, I think she's coming for the second or third time. So the picture is Bhagavad Gita, so I'm assuming she will pick a verse. So
No,
But I will
she's
confirm.
doing a lot of series on Karuna care.
Yeah, she is wonderful. Yeah, she's wonderful.
So I was wondering if she's gonna talk.
Yeah. So I hope everyone is on mute. But if you are trying to talk, please unmute yourself. And any questions, any comments, please let us know. And anyone would like to sing Narasimha prayer? I didn't really schedule anyone. Okay, maybe Bhavya, you can do that. You there, Bhavya?
Prema Kishori Mataji, do you want to sing?
Okay.
I'm calling Isha if she's gonna respond because she sings nice. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, sure. Please, thank you.
One minute.
No problem.
No, I think we can start. We usually in our house start with Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu. So can I just start like that and then we can go from there?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. I don't have the kartal. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu.
Ugram
Jwalantam
Vishnu
Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham
Tam Sarvato Mukham
Narsimha Bhishanam Bhadram
Simha Vishnam Bhadram
Mrityur Mrityu Namami Aham
Mrityu Namami Ham
Shri Narsimha Jai Narsimha Jai Jai Narsimha
Shri Narsimha Jai Jai Narsimha
Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhringa
You can repeat, Mataji.
Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhringa Namaste Narasimhaya
Namaste Narasimhaya
Prahlad Daine
Prahlad Dahine
Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha
Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha
Tilatankana Khalaye
Siratankana Khalaye
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha
Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha
Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha
Pahe Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha
Bahe Narsimha Hidyahe Narsimha
Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapade
Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapade
Tav Kar Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Lalita Hiranyakashipur Tanu Bhringam Jayo Keshavadhirita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare
Vakara Kamala Arbuda Shiva
Dalita
Kashipu
Hiranyakashipu
Tanubhrita
Keshavadisa Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare
Jaya
Jaya Jagadish
Jagadish
Hare
Hare Jaya
Jaya
Jagadish Hare
Jayo Narsimhadev Jayo Narsimhadev Jayo Narsimhadev Jayo Narsimhadev
Jaya
Jaya
Narasimhadev Jaya
Narsimhadev
Narasimhadev
Jayo
Narsimhadev
Narsimhadev
Jaya
Jayo
Narasimhadev
Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya
Prahlad Maharaj Jaya.
Prahlad
Prahlad Maharaj
Maharaj,
Jaya.
Jaya
Prahlad
Prahlad
Maharaj.
Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Prabhupada,
Prabhupada
Prabhupada,
Jaya
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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
Shankara Hari
Hari
Bol
Bol.
Hari Bol Hari Bol Gara Hari Bol.
Nitai
Nitai Gaura
Gaura
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol Hari Bol
Nitai Gaura
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Vande Bhagwan ki jai.
Jai
Jai.
Ganga Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki Jai.
Nandi Hari Hari.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the nice prayers. One more thing, devotees. So 28th February, that is Thursday, will be Sri Nityanand Triyodashi, the appearance day of Lord Nityanand. So I wanted to check with all of you what you think. Should we celebrate on the same day or should we celebrate on Friday? One thing could be, if we want to celebrate on Thursday itself, then we can have a short program of 1 hour where we can sing a bhajan and maybe discuss the glories of Lord Nityanand for some time. But whatever everyone thinks. So please let me know. Thursday 28th is the actual day of Lord Nityanand appearance day. What all of you think?
I think Friday.
Oh, that's my way, okay.
Prabhuji, I think same day is good also.
Hari Bol. Okay, that is the answer I like. Okay. Anyone else? We have quite a few devotees.
Friday's fine with me, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. Any more responses?
Probably 28 is Sunday, right, Prabhuji? Is it 26 or 28?
Let me see. Oh, you're right. 28th is Sunday, actually. It's sorry, 25th, Thursday, 25th February. I'm sorry. Thursday, 25th is the actual day of appearance day of Lord Nityananda. So we still have a couple of weeks, so we can circle back on next Friday also, and I will post on the WhatsApp to try to get some responses so that we can plan accordingly. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Prema Kishori Mataji. Thank you for your time, and we hope to hear from you again sometime soon. And thank you all the devotees for your time and your association. And take care. I hope everyone is doing good. And if we can serve anyone in any capacity, please don't hesitate. You can reach out to all of each other, any one of us in the group. And hopefully this COVID will be over soon, or at least vaccination will be done soon. We are hoping, so that we can hopefully start to see each other in person if it works out for everyone. Thank you again. Hare Krishna and take
Hare
care.
Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji, Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you. Hari Bol.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Brad Prabhu. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna, Maminda Mataji.